Cheers. Right, guys. There's no one saying hello to Lee today. It's toned it down.
You got to start us up. Let's go to Luke just to be done.
That was the response I think you would have wanted from your team day after sort of stinging lead up the international. Right.
Yeah, it was. I think we had a long wait in between the Brentford game and this game. In some respects, that was probably a good thing because it allowed us time to reflect, but then time to work. And the players that stayed will vouch for that. You know, we tried to refine our energy and our athleticism through training. And of course, there was a group with us. There wasn't the whole squad. And we tried to then instill that into the guys that came back from international duty, that this is what we've worked on and this is what we need to deliver. And the players didn't let us down. They were magnificent today. The heart and energy and athleticism was there, and it needed to be because playing such a good opponent, one mistake and you're going to get punished. And although it was a really high-level game against two really good teams.
Harvey Barnes is fit last season. He missed 2 chances you would probably expect him to take in the first half, but then the response with those 2 goals, that sort of summed him up really.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think Harvey never really gets affected by missing. I think that's a great asset to have as a goal scorer, and he's certainly that. His record for a wide player is incredible in front of goal, and the first goal was probably the hardest of the lot. It was an unbelievable finish. The second one's about his instincts and being in the right place at the right time. Really, really pleased for him. He's a great person, great professional. He always gives his best, and great to see him rewarded with the 2 goals today.
Do you take any particular satisfaction from that as a manager who maybe coming into a little bit of criticism?
What, winning?
Yeah, do you take any extra satisfaction out of that?
I just take satisfaction out of winning, and whether there's extra, no, because the only satisfaction is trying to get a positive result, and we needed it today. You know, we're under no illusions, we're under pressure, and we were playing the best team in the Premier League over the last God knows how long. So, and our record against them has not been good. So a lot came together today, but most of all, I'm delighted for the players.
Is that the kind of focus and result that can kickstart us?
Well, I think that's how we're trying to look at it, Damien. We want to try and build momentum in our season. We want to try and build the confidence back to where it has been historically. You can only do that by winning, and you're looking for turning points and moments and can direct your season where you want it to go. The West Ham and Brentford games were where we don't want to be, and the feeling was as bad as I've experienced. But then you're just looking for some positive the other way, and we got it today, and the lads fully deserved it, gave everything to the game. That's all you can ever ask.
Teddy discovered that, rediscovered that a little bit, sort of, not nastiness, but, you know, that little bit.
Yeah, possibly. I think you need that, and for me that is described as doing everything it takes to win. So yeah, I think you need a bit of devilment in your game. Of course, within the rules, you want to see red cards, but you want to see us being really hard and fair to try and do everything we can to win.
Thank you. Well, to Lee, Keith, and then to Crispy.
And you obviously put your fullbacks back today. That just seems to give the team a completely different dimension.
Yeah, well, I always say the team is formed by individuals. The individuals create the team, and they've all got different attributes. So you saw today Lewis Hall's technical ability, considered again the length of time that he's been out, and he's one that hadn't trained with us. So we hadn't really seen him during the international break. That was a great performance from him. It took the ball under pressure, linked really well with Harvey, ran forward when he was able to in that first half before his legs started to tire. And then you go Tino, who had stayed with us and had done a lot of hard work. I thought physically looked unbelievable today, considering he's 7 weeks out, and a really high-level performance against a very dangerous opponent. So I did think they both played really well.
It's world class all along. Seems to get better and better.
Yeah, well, I think Fabian and Malick deserve real praise today because the way that we play, we're brave, we're aggressive, and that leaves our centre halves at times sort of big areas to cover. Thought they both read the game really well. They got the positioning spot on. Both are excellent with the ball too. So, yeah, very pleased with the 2 centre halves today.
Keith, Eddie would have Så vi var inde på et bag, jeg har kommet og der vi så de her både.
But I think, with Pep and historically understand that he likes to mix things up and change things potentially. So I think in my mind was, what may they do next to try and gain control of the game and to try and take out our threats. And it's a game of, I know people say it, but it's a game of chess to a degree. You're trying to work out what they're going to do and you're trying to think what you can do to hurt them. And so half time's a very, very busy time. There's a lot going on, but you need a coolness of head to try and figure out the best strategy to go forward with. And I was really pleased with our attacking intent in the second half because we didn't sink too deep, although at times we knew we wouldn't have the ball. And I thought our defensive shape was really, really strong when it needed to be. So pleased with every aspect of our game really today.
Yesterday, you tried. I think there was nothing there to try against Marseille.
Well, yeah, we worked on things that we've never worked on before against Manchester City, and I'm not saying that's why we got the positive result, but you're always looking for things that you can. I've got list upon list of things that haven't worked against, so I could probably tell you what doesn't. Telling you what does is a very small piece of paper, but I think you just try to learn from experience and then tweak something the next time, and that's what we've done.
Chris, Scott, and then Dolly, please.
Hi, I asked you yesterday about the record you had against Manchester City. You said, you go back at all 60, you tried for it. Is it something you fixate upon when there's a certain record against a team like that you just want to get the better of them?
Not really. No, actually, I'd probably go the opposite way. I don't, it works two ways. We have better results or have had historically better results against some team than others, and it just works out that way sometimes. I think we've come really, as I said before, we've come really close in different games, and for whatever reason, it hasn't happened. Today it did, but it was down to the players. It's always down to the players that the margins today between winning and losing were so small. I've been told about the VAR, how tight that was. If that doesn't go our way, you don't know how the game unfolds. But the most important thing, take away the sort of the result, was the heart and the spirit of the group. The performance from the team was there. The hunger was there. The motivation was there. And that's the key things we have to take forward. Because I think if those qualities are there with our delivery and the players that we have, we can beat anybody.
Some of the Jeeps made, one of them was to ship Bruno and Sandro around again. Can you just explain that and also talk about that?
Yeah, that was one of the things we tweaked just to, without going into too much detail, just to get the appropriate player in the position that we wanted them in. I thought both players played very, very well today.
You mentioned Lewis there. Was that just fatigue going on?
I think so. Yeah, I have not had a detailed debrief with the medical team, but I think it's the cramp is what I'm led to believe it is.
When Lee was talking about the fullbacks there, you obviously see the way they affect game in their position, but actually having that kind of attacking threat from there, having that energy from there, it affects all the other parts of the team as well, doesn't it? Because it affects how Jacob can play, it affects how your midfield three can play. It doesn't just affect what they do as fullbacks, if you like.
Yeah, I'd say the same about any position. Every position on the pitch, especially with how we play, affects the other players. So if you have something that's not quite working, the team will suffer. So that's just with how we play. We're not individual based. We're very partnership based. I think whenever you play like that, there is the potential for things not to have the normal rhythm. Today was a good day in that respect, but there'll be, of course, other challenges ahead, and that's not to dismiss the qualities of the other players that have played in those positions because they bring something different. And I'm just very pleased with our attitude generally today. I thought it was a much better return than our last outing against Brentford.
Can I just ask you on Kieran?
Yeah, Anthony's very close. Just not quite ready for today, but he's working hard and he'll be ready, I think, in the next few days. Kieran, I'm unsure. I'm waiting for feedback from the medical team.
We're a few more quick as we can. We'll start with Daniel and Martin.
Eddie, after conceded some late goals this season, how refreshing and how did it feel to overcome that physical net?
Yeah, it was important. When the 8 minutes went up, that was a bit of a shock to me. I wasn't necessarily prepared for that. So that brought back some bad memories. So I was very, very pleased to navigate those 8 minutes, and the players did that really well because the concentration has to be so high. Yeah, we were going to naturally, I think, be penned in at that stage. some tired legs, tired bodies, players slightly playing out of position as well. Jacob Murphy moved to left, did really, really well today. Jacob, you can't underestimate his versatility and his know-how in that moment. And we managed to do it. I've got no idea what happened there. It was just referee advised me to get him in the tunnel.
Daniel?
Eddie, was it positive for you, that despite the fact that you were missing chances in the first half, that the chances were coming, the team was flowing and, creating those openings for you?
Absolutely. The biggest time to worry is when you're not flowing and you're not creating anything. And we've had games like that this season where you think, I'm not sure we can score today. And I don't want to produce that team and I don't want to produce that style of football. I want to look a threat in every phase and every moment. And I thought we did today. Even when we don't have the ball, you want to think one loose pass from the opposition and we can attack the other end. And today I think we had that feeling about us. Great to see Nick have some chances. He's done very well with his goal return from limited shots. But today I felt while he was on the pitch, he could score.
And is the real acid test now Everton next week? Because of course we know the way we're about to do. You should be able to take a falls like that into an away game when it seems to be an issue this season.
Yeah, I think the acid test is Marseille and Everton. We have to now go away in the Champions League to a very, very difficult opponent, and we need to perform. We get very limited rest, and that's the challenge and the biggest challenge that we face. Our schedule between now and the end of January is relentless. So now the players have to look after themselves. We have to regroup and we have to go again.
Yes, we need to finish with Nick Martin, Craig and Kieran, please.
Does a first Premier League win over Pep need something to you?
No, it genuinely it doesn't. It means something to beat Manchester City for Newcastle. That's the thing. My individual, it's irrelevant. Although I have to say we've had some painful moments over the years, really painful moments, and every defeat's painful. And I remember every single one. So it's nice to win for the team, and we needed it in the Premier League. We knew the league position wasn't good enough. Well, I think time will tell on that. It is a big moment for us because it will give us a big injection of confidence, which I think we needed. And when I say we, the whole squad needed. And we've got players that are close to coming back that can make us even better. So hopefully it comes at a really good time.
Craig? And you've already touched on this, but big bottom out of recent chances. You might not have said this, it hadn't gone on to win the game, but how encouraging was that? How did you achieve that? Because Nick's connections were different to how we've had in the last two. How did you achieve that?
Well, I think the work we did in the break was really important. Now, Nick wasn't part of that. He was away in Germany, but we worked a lot on different movements of the players around him to try and bring out the best in him, if that makes sense. So despite the fact he wasn't with us, we were thinking of him. Dan Byrne, no, he was away as well. So I can't say that one.
Here's finish, please.
Talk about the away issues, what you think it is about that more. Take the least kind of keys. Rector gets he takes 6 years, you're a roach.
Well, I think an obvious answer. I think it's the crowd. And as much as I'd like to say the crowd sort of shouldn't make a difference to the players on the pitch, it changes everything. And I think we have to figure out a way then to transfer some positive energy into our performances away when we don't have the crowd. So that's going to be for us to fix, whether that's system related, personnel related, whatever that is. We need to work hard to figure that out. Here at home, with the energy the crowd give us and the belief they give us, we're okay. But yeah, a lot to think about and ponder before our next two games. I don't agree with ripping things up. Unless you're in absolute panic mode, which we're not, and I don't believe in that style of leadership anyway. I think I've got a very good idea on who our stronger players are. And I want to then try and give them every opportunity to showcase that by helping them and developing them. That doesn't mean that you tolerate poor performances over a longer period of time. And sometimes you have to make some very difficult calls. And I'll always pick what I think is the best team out of who's fit and available for the next game. And that's what I'll continue to do.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you in Marseille.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Cheers.